going to open it up to any questions, and then I'm going to unshare my screen.
All right. Thank you, Amanda.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
So with COVID hitting and all that stuff, and people being forced to stay at home, are you thinking about looking at any kind of statistical things where people who have experienced abuse are kind of struggling more with not being able to get out and kind of get away from the situation, being stuck more often with the limitations that this disease has caused?
Extremely. Actually, the reports have skyrocketed so unbelievably across the country, across the world for domestic violence. I have been looking into it, and it is another driving thing that really makes me feel like this is so important because we are in a situation where a lot of people that need to be out and away can't get there anymore, and they can't get to access to people that will help them. And it's scary how many calls. I think the calls, if I'm reading correctly, it jumped from like, I think it was on like Chicago alone. I'm getting my statistic from it, but it would jump from a couple hundred calls a week to over 800 calls every single week that just this one single domestic shelter is getting. And so if you can just triple that or just think about that across the country, it is scary. And I have been looking into that particularly, which the COVID is another reason I have reached out on social media, just so that I can have access to more people without having to physically meet everybody.
Thank you. Yeah.
Have you thought about, like, I don't know, perhaps setting up a network of people who would be willing to accept another person into their home? Like, I don't know, just like a support group, or like people like um almost like that one vacation home setup, the being, yeah.
That's funny that you asked that, because this is kind of where that started. Is I really was thinking about how cool it would be to have an Airbnb for victims of abuse, and I did a lot of research on it, and I went and met with the director of Valley Health. She explained to me in Colorado they already have, like, there's so many things that go into like the safety, because these people are victims, because people prey on victims, you know what I mean? And it's like I was thinking this like positive, like, oh man, we could get this done and knock it out, but then there becomes so many safety issues and background issues and everything, and so it's a project much larger than me, but I do think it's really important.
Thank you.
Will you also be highlighting the male victims and same gendered relationship type of things, and seeing the statistical changes or increases or differences between those?
So in my stuff, or in my advertisements that I'm posting, I am welcoming everyone to share. I want every point of view. I feel like I don't really have the full collective voice of survivors unless I'm able to get, just a wide range of people. And I I've received one story, I believe, from a man, and then I haven't received any transgender, LBGT, like any lesbians or any people that are out of the regular heterosexual couples. But I know they're all out there because I see all these stories. So that is actually something I'm trying to actively reach out as well, and trying to think of new ways to market that will bring people in. Because so far I'm not getting, like, so far I'm just getting women's stories, and I'm wondering, I don't know if that's just because of what I'm choosing to market or how I'm writing it, but I do put on everything. I want stories from everyone, and everyone is welcome if they feel like they need to share a abuse story.
So, hey, Amanda.
Hey.
So, I guess my question with the projection mapping, and I know you're just like figuring that out right now, but what are you intending to project? Because I know you're talking about like different things, or stories, but like, are you going to project the stories or the pictures? Because I know the Barbara Kruger was a really big influence for you. Is it like, I guess, like, how are you, or what are you projecting, or what are you planning on projecting to like envelop your viewer?
So, I am still working on that one, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So I'm working on something that I had discussed with Dana that was really interesting, and it really plays into the emergent narrative that I'm wanting to create. But having something projecting onto where a person can put themselves in the way of a projection and have the projection on their body um, is something that I'm trying to incorporate, and then possibly in having depending on how when I do the size of the stories and when I display the stories, depending on you can't read really high up in the air, and I know that, and I don't want people's stories to feel less important because people can't read them. So I might have these spaces above, and I might be. I've been thinking of playing with text projection and maybe pulling quotes out and from stories and just projecting them. And I've also, there's a few different ways that I'm not sure how I'm going to shape it over, but I do want to, I don't know, curve projection and use all of that area, if that makes sense, hopefully.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you. That's really cool.
Anyone else?
So I have a question. Well,
Yes.
okay, my question was taken. No, it wasn't taken, but I was also going to ask about the stories you'd received from men and the LGBT community, that kind
Mm-hmm.
of thing. I've noticed in the marketing you had that a lot of it used she. And I was
Mm-hmm.
just, and I know probably in your post you're saying, anyone's story is welcome. And so
Right.
I was wondering if maybe using gender neutral language would encourage a, a wider variety of victims, because like you said, it does happen all across the board. And I think it would be uh, really nice to have stories from all across for your project. It's a suggestion.
Yeah, thank you. I will definitely look into that because I agree with you. I really want to have a mass, like a true collective and not a portion of society. I really want that as well. So I will actually be looking into more gender neutral advertising. Thank you.
Hi, Amanda. This is Gene. When we get back, I'll have some questions for you. I'm having trouble formulating sentences right now. So, and to talk to you about the gallery and stuff like that. So,
yeah, definitely. I need to talk to you about that.
Just when we get, and I know all you guys do. So when we get back, and we will be back in person. We've got to be. So just you guys catch up to me after that. I'm just kind of listening right now. So, sorry.
Thank you, Gene.
All right. Well, hey, this is Dana. Hopefully I'm all
You're good now.
killing your ears. Yeah. I'm out in the hallway. Just too many mics or something in the room. So just as we wrap up, just curious if you can put it into like 3 kernels, if you will, of just like one word or 3 words or whatever. Like what do you desire most from your audience when they experience your show? So, you know, not asking here for a paragraph. I mean, but like, what do you desire, you know, from them as they come in and are, you know, just
I would say what I hope for everybody to come in with willingness to understand that it is an ignored problem and it is an epidemic. And then with like I want everyone to leave with maybe the feeling that if they ever come up in a situation where they can help somebody instead of blaming somebody for staying, then that they take that situation. And that's the most important part that anybody takes from it is that you step up and help somebody when you can.
good? Okay, awesome. Well, thank you,
Thank you.
Amanda. Good job.
Thank you.
Everybody get your digital plaque.